As a coach, the most useful thing I can do for a client is not to answer their questions. It's to make sure they do not need me to. The answer-giving posture is the default. When someone presents a problem, the instinct is to solve it. The posture assumes that the problem is a lack of information. If the person only knew what to do, they would do it. The answer closes the gap. The answer is delivered. The exchange feels complete. But the exchange is rarely complete. The answer is heard. It may even be accepted. And then nothing changes. The pattern repeats. The answer was correct. It was delivered in a way that's rarely helpful. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Consistency, from fitness to flourishing. Why the advice you have received has failed to produce change. You've received good advice before. A program, a set of instructions, a coach who told you exactly what to do. You agreed with the advice. It made sense. You intended to follow it. And then you did not. Or you followed it for a short time and then stopped. The failure was not the quality of the advice. The failure was structural. Answers are past tense. They are conclusions drawn from someone else's experience. The circumstances that produce the answer are not the same as your circumstances. The answer may be sound. It may also be irrelevant to the present moment you are actually in. Answers belong to the one giving them. You, as the receiver, got the conclusion without working through the process. The conclusion without the process does not transfer. You left with the answer, but not the ability to produce it again. The deeper limitation is that an answer given cannot be owned by the person who needs it. Ownership requires participation. You must arrive at the insight yourself. An answer delivered from outside, no matter how wise, will never carry the same weight as an answer you found on your own. What I do instead. Influential inquiry is the practice I use instead of giving answers. It's a method of using questions to provoke your own thinking. The goal is not to find solutions for you. The goal is to provoke the critical thinking that produces solutions you will actually act on. A question is present tense. It engages your current circumstances and your experience of those circumstances. It asks you to examine where you are, what you are choosing, and what you value. The question does not assume the answer. It creates space for you to produce one. A question is accurate in a way that an answer cannot be. The answer is about the past. The question is about the moment. Your circumstances are always current. The question that meets you there is more relevant than any answer carried from elsewhere. A question transfers ownership. You answer the question. You own the answer. You did the work. The insight belongs to you. The action that follows from the insight belongs to you as well. Why the method works. No one changes because they were told to. Change happens when you arrive at a reason that matters to you personally. The reason must be yours. It cannot be borrowed. This is why the correct advice you received failed. The reasons were not yours. The external reasons, you should, you need to, here's exactly what to do, lost force the moment the external pressure was removed. An internal reason, this matters to me, this is who I want to be, persists. The question surfaces your own reason. What matters to you about this? What would change if you did this differently? What is at stake if you keep doing what you are doing? These questions do not provide the reason. They create the conditions for you to find it. The reason you find is the only one that can sustain action. What this looks like in a coaching session. When we work together, I ask questions before I provide any answers. The first response to a problem is never a solution. It's a question. What have you tried? What do you think is going on? What would you do if you had to decide right now? The question triggers your thinking. It also signals that your own thinking is expected, required, and your most important resource to change your experience and your results. I hold space for you to think. You may not have an answer immediately. Silence is productive. You are thinking. The thinking is the work. You may arrive at a different answer than the one I would have given. That's the point. The answer you arrive at fits your circumstances, your values, your goals. It may not be the optimal answer by my measure. It is the answer you will act on. The questions are genuine. They are not a tactic. A question that carries a hidden agenda is not a question. It's a judgment disguised as one. The question must be open. You must feel free to answer honestly. What changes? The answer-giving posture can seem generous. It can feel productive. The question-giving posture can feel like nothing is being done. It can feel like withholding or stalling. The opposite is true. Giving an answer is easy. Asking a good question is harder. The answer closes the conversation. The question keeps it open. The answer provides a solution. The question provides the skill of finding the right solution. The people I work with do not need me to give them answers. They need me to create the conditions for their own insight. The insight belongs to them. The action belongs to them as well. When they leave, they do not leave with my answer. They leave with their own. That is the only arrangement that works. If you're ready to stop collecting correct advice that changes nothing, join the Act Score Challenge to start a conversation. That's it for today. Catch you next time.